Let's get started!
What is it, little person? Little person, that's just an egg. There's no such thing as an evil egg. Man, that is one tough egg. Okay, I'm gonna start the rant now. Okay, here we go. MHA chapter 402. It's an incredibly rushed chapter, not to mention not even chronologically consistent with the chapters that came before it. Also, my favorite useless clown is finally back. Finally.
Well, it's about time.
Anyways, do take note that this video will not be a full recap. We are just gonna be ranting about things that don't make sense. And since I have nothing to say for a little something first, just like back in chapter 400's rant video, let's just dive straight into the actual rant itself. Okay, let's begin. So about chapter 402. I gotta say, that for a dedicated joke channel that does nothing but MHA rants, this chapter's an absolute gold mine. There's a whole lot of rantable stuff here in this chapter. It's like everywhere you look there's something ready to be plucked off and ranted about. But in order to make this rant video not too cluttered and all over the place, I'm going to divide the chapter into 3 parts and just rant about each one accordingly. Okay, let's start with the floating fortress part first. Now, so about the floating fortress. So apparently the real reason as to why it's somehow falling again in the previous chapter is because there's a massive clone swarm weighing it down. Honestly, the presence of the clone swarm caught me off guard. Now while yes, I'm fully aware that some clones teleported here back in 377. But since there's an absolute lack of any follow-up, not to mention no one is reacting to them, and every time there's a scene there the manga only throws out shots of these two instead, it all made me think that maybe the clone swarm just got dealt with off screen. Like maybe they just got chain lightninged the f out of them. Or maybe the heroes use the rocket platforms and the laser jets to quickly get rid of them. Also, this small midget person over here back in chapter 396 didn't even act once like her boyfriend is in any danger at all. She's just happy to stream out some more fights. So yeah, as you can see, it just really feels like the clones are already done. But no, apparently the clones are not dealt with off screen. In reality, they've been overrunning the floating fortress for over 20 chapters now, which really makes me wonder why did the manga not show anything about them until this chapter. Also, there are strangely no chain lightnings, no laser jets, no rocket platforms, no wall hack, no jello, no manga reality warping. Most of the stuff that can reliably fight back against the clones are very conveniently missing.
We lost them, sir.
Well, then you find them, and you get them back in the dome.
Anyways, so more about the clones, specifically about them weighing down the floating fortress. This one also honestly puzzled me. If clones are very capable of supporting the weight of an entire tower of clones despite being much more brittle than normal humans, then wouldn't that mean they are just relatively lightweight themselves? I mean, just look at how some characters got pinned down without being crushed. And then there's Bison over here just easily filtering out and lifting up the clones, but not the real people. So yeah, the clones don't really seem to weigh that much. But then again, I haven't really placed a clone on a weighing scale anyways. Okay, now before I can move on to rant about Handyman, I gotta talk about something I noticed in these propulsion systems real quick. How come there's still an air trampoline covering them? Shouldn't they be already gone, since they are already bursted by the flight engine's reactivation back in chapter 380? So why are they back here again? Did it regenerate because the engines are turned off? So is this really why the floating fortress is falling once more? So are the clones really just lightweight all along and UA is just simply falling again because the engines are turned off? Man, I have so many questions. But too bad I would have to move on or else the video would become very f***ing long. Okay. Now let's move on to bashing the ever-living f*** out of the most useless f***ing villain ever to grace humanity. Now, weird inconsistencies from the previous chapter aside. So it's been over 20 chapters now ever since Handyman got out of the floating fortress. 40 minutes of in-universe time. With his full arsenal of quirks without any threat of erasure. You'd think at this point he already destroyed a vast portion of his surrounding area, right? No. Of course he still hasn't done anything aside from cracking the ground and making a ton of smoke. This is Handaman we are talking about. The most useless pathetic piece of brain dead loser ever to exist in the history of anime. Being absolutely useless against heroes is pretty much his entire shtick.
For doing absolutely nothing longer than anyone else, this trophy's for you!
Yeah. Despite literally having access to his full arsenal of various quirks, Handaman's just so much of a massive colossal dumbass to actually use them and actually do something for 40 minutes straight. And apparently countering him is just as easy as grabbing the out of his wrists. That's it. No more floating fortress needed. No more rocket platforms. No more electric barriers or anything. Hell, you don't even need to get him away from other people like what Superman tried to do with Mr. Demon Lord. You simply grab Handaman's wrists and you simply win. In fact, he's so much of a massive joke that the creator had to draw him suddenly flying around to make things artificially more intense, because otherwise people would easily notice that he's nothing but a useless idiotic dumbass clown who can't do anything, not even fire out a ranged quirk and try to actually get out from being restrained.
What is wrong with you? You actually this stupid? I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking. What was the plan then, genius? Huh? You don't know. You know why you don't know? Because you don't think. That's why. You don't think. You never figured out how to think. You are a pathetic junkie. Too stupid to understand and follow simple rudimentary instructions.
But still, despite Handaman's absolute tension-breaking levels of dumbassery and uselessness that he showed thus far, the manga still treats him like some kind of god of destruction, whose taunts can make the main character cry.
You shut the fuck up!
Also,
you shut the fuck up!
Get you a little bit.
You shut the fuck up! You shut the fuck up! I hope you die in a fire! Shut the fuck up!
Yeah. Handaman's taunts are simply falling flat. No matter how much the manga props him up to ridiculous levels, he simply lacks any notable achievements against the heroes for his words to mean anything. He's an absolute loser who's only good against other villains and nothing else, to the point that he can't even kill some grass. He's just so laughably bad that the literal main character himself had to put him down into solid ground, instead of just tossing him up to be target practice for the laser jets, just so he could at least do something. But of course, since it's Handaman, naturally he didn't accomplish anything like the loser that he is. You know what, at this point I don't think this guy's even needed to beat Handaman at all. Just get in Jello, and encase Handaman in solid air. And there you have it, Handaman countered. Now the heroes have a wonderful clown to display to the world.
The salary of a clown is $51,000 a year, and you're doing it for free!
Okay, now while I have more Handaman rants ready, but since the video would become far longer than it should be, I'll go hold them for now. I'll just go trickle them in the following manga and videos instead. Okay, now that the Handaman rant is over, let's move on to the final rant topic. Now this is just gonna be a short one. I'm just gonna point out two things. First, there's this magically appearing gauntlet that's obviously not present in the previous chapter. And second, what is a small explosive gauntlet even going to do against Mr. Demon Lord anyways? But then again, the actual explosion isn't really shown. Maybe something else happened? Maybe? We'll see. Okay, with all that said, rant over. But before we end, let me talk about some art related stuff on chapter 402 first. So I just kinda noticed that there's a whole lot of recycled drawings used here. There's a few over here, another few over there, and there's a whole lot more halfway through the chapter. It's like over a half of the drawings here in chapter 402 are just taken somewhere else. I don't know about you guys, but I really think something's going on with the creator right now. Good thing there's a break next week. Hopefully he could get everything sorted out. Okay, I'm done with the video.
ちょっと諦めてる。
Little person, are you finally done with that egg?
また隠し通路バレちゃう。
Like I said before, there's no such thing as an evil egg.
ねならなくて心折れかけている。
Just put that back where you found it. Oh look, there's a half-developed creature inside it.
次男との仲良し作戦にかけているもうまくいかない。
Little person, can you just go play outside while I clean up this mess? Hey Deadline.
What is it? Clever, comrade.
Lunchtime.
Delicious.
Deadline, you're supposed to cook that thing first.